Hey everyone, and welcome to Season 2 of Linking to the Afterlife. This season will continue with our soul existence readings and connecting with your loved ones in spirit. We will also be adding a few organic chats with friends and episodes explaining more about communicating with the afterlife. If you'd like to be a guest on the podcast, see the show notes. Thanks for listening. So we're going to start with both closing our eyes. And we're going to take a breath in through the nose and out through the mouth, breathing in. And exhaling, a big one, letting go of everything we brought before this moment. Would you state your first name and the phrase, "It's a beautiful day"?
I'm Megan, and it's a beautiful day.
Megan, we're going to do a soul existence reading. Is that correct?
Yes.
This piece of your little girl is coming in front of me. Typically, I see them to the side, or I'm viewing them out to my left or to my right. This little girl, she's about 6. I would say between 4 and 6. She's very alert, very awake, meaning, here I am. It's almost like she's standing in front of a crowd, and she's throwing rose petals to the crowd, like thanking them for being here. This little 6-year-old girl has a crowd in front of her that's thanking people for listening to her. Can you see that image with me?
Yes.
So I have no idea what it means yet. How is this 6-year-old girl speaking in front of a crowd? But I feel she's very adult-like. Let me just ask, yes or no? When you were that age, did people say you were a lot wiser than your years? Yes or no?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
That's interesting. Yes?
Yes.
I'm going to get back to the crowd and what she's actually saying, I think. But what I'm jumping to is when the crowd dissipates and she's left alone, and now she's not so sure of herself. How does that resonate with you?
Yeah, maybe that feeling of being uneasy with just self,
but yet very easy talking about.
walking comfortable around other people.
And do you feel that echoes into this present?
Absolutely.
I like to call it now an echo of a soul, or an echo of that soul in a past life. I even tend not to use past life anymore because it just tends to be old paradigm now with the work that I'm continually doing. So this echo, you see how she jumped me to the end. It didn't matter about talking. What mattered is what happened after the crowd left. We get that, yes?
Yes.
She just kind of stands there looking at the space where the crowd was and wanting, not for them to come back, but wanting to speak more. I feel like her mouth shuts at that time. Do you understand that? Yes, no, or maybe?
Yes.
As I pause, I obviously keep feeling and viewing, but I'm not really feeling her. I'm feeling her as the crowd. I'm looking at her from a distance, and I sense that she wants to keep talking, but everybody leaves. She wants to keep talking, but everybody leaves. And she's just like, don't people just want to keep talking about this? Does that make sense?
Yes.
You and I could probably talk about spirit forever, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's not everybody.
Right.
And I struggle with that. Do you struggle with that?
Maybe.
Like wanting to talk to everybody, wanting it to be not surface. I can say surface, hey, how you doing and what you do today? But then I'm like, do you want to know what I did today?
That's right. That connection, the true connection.
I feel it as Donna, and I also feel it as this little piece of your soul that's still craving the crowd to come back. Come back. I'm not done. There's so much more. But the crowd is gone. The crowd is gone. You understand?
Yes.
And all that's left is to figure out why I want more. Megan, weren't we just talking about this at the beginning of this reading?
Yes. The shoe fits.
If the shoe fits. For my listeners, I was just saying before the podcast started, Megan and I were chatting, and I was talking about something, and I just talk about things because I feel that's what Spirit wants me to talk about. And we talked about things that have everything to do with what's going on right now. Yes, Megan?
Yes.
Very interesting. Let's see what we can do with this, because I think we both will benefit from this. For me, I laugh and then I say, "You're fine alone, Donna. You're fine." Because that need for us to not want more in our physicalness, but want more in connection to humanness. There it is.
That's right.
My new favorite terms are humanness versus soulness. And when we speak from soulness, we only want soulness to receive it. If humanness is around us, other people in our life who are just on the humanness thing, and that's fine, no good, bad, right, or wrong. But like you just said, we want it to be realer. Is that a word? Real, more real, because we evolve that way. That's how we expand. You get that?
Yes.
But Spirit is asking, can we expand on our own without humanness to humanness? What do you think, Megan? Yes or no?
I think it's possible, but I think it's more likely to be successful with a community around you.
I'm going to disagree with that because Spirit's disagreeing with that.
Maybe that's the lesson.
Because everything we have is already with us. If you could go back to that age, start there, and think of all the times that you found yourself either rejected by someone else or only connected on a human level, those are all still lessons. You can bring up that scenario because 100% that scenario is still present in your humanness and it hasn't evolved yet to soulness. So how can we go back to that 6-year-old and speak soul to soul and allow her to expand so that she can bring that soulness to every other experience going forward till you are today? How does that sound?
Sounds good.
And that makes sense.
Yes.
We also talked about this, old paradigm words versus new paradigm. And for me, this is just me speaking, not Spirit, I never felt comfortable with the word tribe or community for that matter. I'll tell you why. Because every time I was involved with what I thought was tribe and community, I was not just judged, I was pushed down. I was not just pushed down, I was stepped on and walked away from. So you see how Donna in these last 30 years does not agree with we can do our best work through community. But now when we hear what Spirit just said, can we do our best work based on what's happened in the past? What do you think, Megan?
Yes, I guess so.
Let me do this. Let me say it differently. Can we learn more from what's happened in the past? Yes or no?
Absolutely. Yes.
Yes. So we're going to talk about echo now because echo is my new word for vibration or peeling the layers of the onion. None of that ever resonated with me. So I'm going with echo now because these echoes of past experiences are still bouncing off of us.
Yes.
And if we move forward with, there's another word we used before, wow, desperation or desperately seeking community and tribe, really what we're doing is running away from the things we didn't learn then and want to think that we don't have to if we come in contact now with, I'll put this in quotes, tribe or community. How does that sound?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Can you reiterate that a little bit in your own words? Because I hear it coming out of my mouth and I think everybody understands it. I know I can feel it because this is what I've been working with. But can you explain it based on your dynamic of this?
I think maybe in the sense of searching for fulfillment, maybe you're looking to connect with people who are like-minded or trying to experience some of the same things that you are. And maybe in the search to move forward, you're neglecting your past experiences. And to truly move forward, you have to honor those past experiences to really be free.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. And I've got goosebumps. And it feels like we also said this at the beginning before I turned on the recording. We said how it all comes full circle.
Yeah.
And that's what I feel, because even I can now put myself in those past experiences, not judge the other person, because that's what I totally do. I'm like, it wasn't my fault, it was their fault. They didn't even know me. How could they judge me, or blah, blah, blah. But I've never accepted them for being part of my lesson. And that's how the echo stays with me. Because how can we keep that memory like it just happened yesterday? That's what it feels like to me. Can you pick one instance in your past that we're talking about right now that you could feel like it just happened yesterday?
Oh, absolutely.
Comes in as an echo. Why? Because it's right here. All of our moments in every existence and every in-between life is happening right here. And until that echo stops bouncing off us, right? Right now it's bouncing off of us. But until we let it in, it will not dissipate. Until we figure out the full message of this echo, it will not disintegrate.
Right.
How's that sound?
Yeah.
I feel like we just went through 5 hours of a therapy that was so deep physically. You get it?
Yeah.
So deep physically that now I know why I was feeling a little nauseous before I came to this reading.
Okay.
Like that piece of me was already coming in saying, whoa, it's going to be a tough one, Donna. We're going to ride the wave of this one. Did you have any experiences like that? Because we scheduled this almost a week ago. Did you have any experiences of feeling something that maybe you couldn't explain or didn't want to explain?
Yeah, a heaviness. And I've been trying really hard to tune in to that and to say, since I did know that this reading was coming, I'm open to feeling that. I'm open to receiving. I feel that and I honor it. And, I'm ready to hear how to process this.
That's a beautiful way to explain your growth, your expansion right now. And I love open to receive. That's one of my favorite phrases that's come from the old paradigm that's going to stick here. Even when you say that, it doesn't mean the result is coming in the next 5 minutes,
No.
5 days, 5 months. We don't know that. The echo that hits us, we either are feeling the discord of it, or we are feeling it backing away from us, or we are feeling it coming back again toward us. And all of those things can happen in the course of a minute. We could bring up that memory, allow it to hit our physical body again, and allow it to go away because we're like, I've dealt with this before. Why am I still thinking about it?
Yeah.
And then the echo goes back, but rest assured, it will come back to our physical body. And this is where humanness comes in to say, I got to step out of the way and allow my soul to tell me now what this echo means, what this echo wants. How's that sound?
Yeah, that sounds good.
And you got this little girl that just told us within a 3-second clip exactly what we needed to learn right now, exactly what we needed to experience right now. Because maybe yesterday, neither of us were ready. Maybe that little girl wasn't ready yesterday. Here's the order. And if we think about this time looping always around us, there is no, I've waited so long, I've spent so much time. There isn't, because it's always quickly coming back. You could do this work quickly. However, the human body can't accept that quickly, because we're still in this body. And like I said, I was nauseous. You felt the heaviness. It will come up in many different states for us. Talk to me. How do you feel? How does that heaviness feel in this moment?
Yeah, it just feels like sitting on my chest. It's just there.
There is a good place for it.
Yeah.
The chest is your heart. The chest, your heart, is your true soul. I got goosebumps up and down my legs right now. And Spirit's like, keep going, Donna. Keep going. That's my sign. Keep going. Keep walking. So I'm going to jump back to this little girl. She got this really cute little dress on. It's yellow. There are white flowers all over it. I love that. This dress came through in another reading with a little girl. But I feel the yellow and the white flowers mean something metaphorically. And I don't know that right now. I'm not hearing it right now. Can you see her?
Yes.
And the petals, oh, remember I said the petals, she was throwing petals? They were coming off of her. They were coming off of her. They weren't in a basket, all these petals by her side. So at the end, she could start throwing petals. Oh, this is making so much sense now. She was taking those petals from her, from herself. She was giving of herself. That's what the petals symbolized. Now you're getting goosebumps?
Yes.
Full body chills right now. I did not see that coming. Did you see that coming?
No. No, not at all.
And just as I thought, what's this dress mean with all these petals on it? Oh, there's an order. Spirit just said it 20 minutes ago when we started. Maybe it wouldn't have made much sense. But after we processed everything else, now it makes perfect sense. We are so giving of our humanness, like she's plucking it from her dress, which to me is the outer layer, which would be humanness. I don't know if she's plucking it from her soulness. I'm asking to receive a sign about that right now in my head. And I'm hearing when we dig deeper into that level of soulness, we don't feel like we have to have the crowd because our soulness exudes this. We don't have to wear it on our dress. Our soulness comes through, that people will see us and we don't have to have this big sign up in front of us saying, I'm with my tribe and my community right now, and this makes me feel safe because this is where I'm meant to be. I always thought when you're with your tribe, who are you teaching? And are you holding yourself back more because everybody likes just being in the same state of community? Well, let's move out. This morning, as I was processing my past experiences, if I didn't have those, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing right now. I needed to be alone in my humanness to receive soulness.
Right.
Oh, I need to take a deep breath. How about you?
Yeah, that was a good one.
Wow. Wow. And wow. So now what do you think about when I asked you before and you replied about having tribe and having community? What do you think about that now?
Yeah, I think my perspective has shifted in the sense that I'm going to be able to do the work that I need to do to get myself where I need to go. And I can be the sole person that's responsible for that. The word on the tip of my tongue is emanate.
Hmm.
And just emanate that light outwards.
Right. You don't have to be in a community where someone says, oh, Megan's in that community. She must be this.
That's right. I am enough.
Right here where I am now.
Yeah.
And if I were in that community, those communities, and I walked along, like I'm in Brooklyn right now, and I walked along these city streets, I feel like I'd be in a bubble and not emanating. So instead of, because we used this word a few moments ago too, instead of being desperate for something else, because desperation for something else is saying what?
That you don't have enough.
And you're not content with what you have. Same thing.
Right.
So if we could explain to this little girl now, I'm going to ask you to do it. How can you explain and talk to her? Because she stands alone. She's up on a higher level, right? She's up a couple steps from where the crowd was, right? Speaking. Let me first see if she can allow us to step closer to her to get her attention. Because I'm viewing her. Remember when I first started, I was viewing her outside of me? She wasn't allowing me in. She was in her bubble. Oh, Megan.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Wow, I just explained it without even knowing I was explaining it.
Yeah.
It's been 25 minutes maybe, and we just
Came full circle.
everything just explained what we talked about.
Yeah. Like almost like there's a wall up, right?
Yes, because We want to see more, but she's not allowing it. It's not about
Yeah.
the people, it's about us.
Yeah.
So if you put yourself in community and bubble, if that's what you need, that's what you need. I'm not saying that's good, bad, right, or wrong.
Yeah.
Stop with the desperation that I desperately need to find my tribe. Why am I not finding my tribe? If I were only in community. Let's go back to your little girl. We need to get her to pop that bubble, to understand that those petals are not on her dress. Those petals are inside of her. What would you like to say to her? We're still in the crowd. Bubble's still up. I can see it now. What would you like to say to your soul existence?
There's a song coming up in my head. The lyrics of this particular song in one section say, "You're on your own, kid. You always have been." And just sitting in that and knowing that even with the support from people around you, it's me who is going to choose the path. It's me who's going to make the decisions. It's me who's going to have the results. And it doesn't mean you do it alone, because you can have support from people you love and friends and family. But ultimately, if you want to pull that out from inside, I can do that. I am enough.
Ooh, I started crying during that speech, Megan. Good one. You mentioned support, and I just got why I have not resonated with that word either.
Just pulling out all your favorite words.
Because no matter how much support I get, when that support all goes away, I feel the same.
Yeah.
Still comes back to Donna, you've got to do that.
That's right.
Can you see the bubble that I see around
Yeah.
her? Yes. Very clear, right? I can see right through it. She's looking around like, where did that come from? We haven't burst the bubble yet. We haven't, I feel like I'm in a Star Trek episode right now where we're going through another dimension and the ship just keeps going in like a force field, but it keeps bouncing back off. There's the echo, right? Pushes in like we're getting through the bubble, but all it's creating is an echo and she doesn't feel it yet. So we've got to get through the bubble. We've got to punch through. We've got to punch through that dimension. Wow. I see this in my head and it's mind blowing. How can we get through? How can we punch through the bubble, Megan?
You are enough. You can make your dreams come true.
I don't think she has any dreams. I think all she sees is what she sees right now. So, Megan, as the Megan you are now, I need you to understand that little girl. Those dreams didn't start yet. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, get yourself out of headspace that's Megan as you now and speak to the little girl again, who doesn't have a dream yet, just only knows that this is what she wants. And why doesn't anybody else want to do this all the time?
I don't know. I'm drawing a blank.
Do you think you're drawing a blank? I don't know the answer to this, but I'm working with you on this one. Do you think you're drawing a blank because the adult you is judging that little girl for not having dreams, for not understanding?
I don't think so.
How about we start with understanding where she's at? Let's go there first. So accept her for as she is right now. Make those statements now.
You are enough.
Accept where she is right now. As you, the adult, to you, the child.
Yes.
I'll give you the first two words. I understand how.
I understand how you feel.
I always say you can never thank them enough when you're doing this type of work.
Thank you for being you.
Because
You got me to where I am today.
now I see the bubble bursting. We can walk a little bit closer to her. She sees us now. She's still, though, a little hesitant about who the heck we are. So explain to her.
I am you. We've got this.
She's not ready to hear that yet because she has no idea what we means. You're jumping to Z. We haven't hit A, B, C, D, E yet. So again, look at her as the little girl that thought she was alone, that no one else understood her. She had no dreams and had no idea what future meant. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yes.
You're not alone.
Don't just tell her Tell her you understand how you thought.
I understand you thought you were alone, but you're not alone. I'm here.
And I understand.
And I understand how you feel.
And she's like, I don't understand how you can understand because I'm by myself. And who the heck are you still?
I am you.
How do you think she feels? Go to her standing there. How do you think she feels being so alone all this time?
Lonely, confused, sad.
Say that to her. I understand how you feel.
I understand how you feel being lonely, confused, sad.
Explain exactly what I said, but explain it now from her perspective.
I understand that you're wanting more people, but you,
Try not to go there.
yeah,
Just keep understanding. I understand how those people went away. I understand. Just keep saying that. Don't say, but now, because she's like, you keep jumping to the future. I'm here. Understand how she's feeling right now.
I understand all those people went away. I understand you're feeling lonely. I understand you're looking for more.
And I understand it never came.
And I understand it never came.
And I understand you gave every part of you.
And I understand you gave every part of you.
And I thank you. And those people thank you.
And I thank you. And those people thank you.
I also know there is a piece of you way deep inside
I also know there's a piece of you way deep inside
that neither of us has accessed yet.
that neither of us have accessed yet.
And I'd like to help the both of us access that.
And I'd like to help both of us access that.
Would you be willing for us to chat more?
Would you be willing for both of us to chat more?
You see how different that was.
Yeah, that felt good.
Because I still heard judgment when you were telling her, you're alone, but I'm here now. Now saying here, I'm the adult and I know better, but you're not. We aren't as adults. We are still that little piece of us that's hidden, that has now chosen to be seen.
Yeah.
I love that line. I felt her shoulders drop.
Yeah, I feel that heaviness lifting.
I'm almost 100% positive you can do the rest of this. I think that was the breakthrough because there was judgment on that little girl. How could you keep knowing that when we know this now? How could that still be like that when I know this now? Doesn't matter. That was her sitting there, just wanting and having no idea where it was coming from. I'm sorry you had to stand there for so long.
I'm sorry you had to stand there for so long.
I know you're tired.
I know you're tired.
I know you just want to sit down.
I know you just want to sit down.
It's okay if you sit down.
It's okay if you sit down.
I'm going to come closer now.
I'm going to come closer now.
And I'm going to sit by you on that step.
And I'm going to sit by you on that step.
Is that okay?
Is that okay?
She already sat down, so I'm assuming that's okay. She's like, man, you gave me permission to sit down. I'm exhausted. Now do you see the two of you sitting side by side?
Yeah.
But what a process that took to get that close. Now you understand the heaviness of your heart.
Yeah.
Because your heart just wanted to beat out of its chest for love for this little girl, but you just wanted to explain it away. Here's where we're going to go now. When desperate wasn't even in her vocabulary. She just wanted to keep sharing what she had, and she didn't understand anything else around her. We just gave her that. You gave her that.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
Really good.
You felt the echo break, didn't you?
Yeah.
That echo, if you could see it, I just see it in my head constantly. I see it. It just kept beating up against this little girl, but the little girl wasn't getting any of it. But we kept beating that echo. This is how it should be. This is how it should be. Echo starting to dissipate now.
I almost see like a very calm lake, and, you flick a pebble in it and it's like now the ripples, they're free to go.
Megan, you read my mind. When I started to talk about echoes months ago, that was exactly my image. And that is the image that keeps returning. Whenever I see an echo, that is what it looks like, the ripples of the water. So you are 100% accurate with that image. All right, the big question. Do you have any questions about how you're going to continue with this little girl?
That's a good question. Is it ignorant to think that I can just carry her with me, but give her the break and I can take charge and do what I need to do?
You're going to have to ask her that. She would have to agree to that. You can't just pick her up, right? all the times we kept saying, is it okay if we sit down? Is it okay? Right? You have to ask permission. She's not unlike any other person in our world. You're going to ask permission first.
Yeah.
So keep asking her before you do anything, because if you just do it, that's the adult self that struggled at the beginning of this exercise, wanting to just make it better.
That's right.
Making something better means
Dealing with where it came from.
right. And where it came from wasn't bad. So if we keep saying, I want to make it better, it means we don't like what's happening. And that's what I felt when you kept wanting to draw her, pick her up, take her away. To her, it wasn't bad. So to us, it shouldn't be either. All it is understanding. I understand how you were there. I understand how that hurt and how standing for so long could hurt. But I'm not going to tell her, you could have been doing this all along, right?
Yeah.
That's judgment.
That's right.
But you see how judgment is still a new paradigm word also, but the meaning of it is different now.
Yeah.
That word, there's so much of a deeper meaning to it, because underneath that judgment is anger with what is. And that's what's rising up in the world right now.
Yeah.
Thank you, Megan, for doing this work, which will echo now out to the masses, because the echo works that way too.
Right.
Now, ask the question again. Do you have any questions about how you're going to work with your little girl
No, not right now.
and all the petals that she wants to take off and give to other people? Maybe she can give some to herself
Yes.
first before you.
Yeah.
I think you can do that. Any other thoughts about how this felt for you?
I loved that. I didn't know what to expect. And yeah, I couldn't have asked for more.
That's a nice statement,
It's true.
because asking for more means
You weren't happy with what you got. Yeah.
I loved what I got.
I loved what I got.
I love what came through here. You see how her standing there, I'm getting this now, that her petals were received by us, and how that started this conversation. It involved her, but yet it didn't involve her. But yet she showed us the way, didn't she?
She showed us the way.
Okay, let's close our eyes. Take a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Thank you for the understanding we received from the echo today. Namaste.